Okie doke. Added another thing. I added a spell called. Well, I guess I'll. This is probably better for testing. I'll leave one guy out, and he can join whenever. Cool. It is Magic Missile. And it shoots three of them, and they ignore each other. They track the enemy if it's within that big sphere, and they hit him only if they touch him because they have a small sphere. I'm not sure. I think I have to use. I think I'm. I don't think I can use static meshes for these objects. One, because they should be magic particles. They're not solid objects. They're. I don't know. They're magic. They're this incorporeal thing that reacts when it hits matter, but they aren't matter themselves. I think something like that. I think that's how that would probably work. But so like fireball, it has this little sphere outside it, and when it hits something, it generates an explosion, and people in the explosion area or volume take damage. But with freeze, it just damages whoever it hits, and I don't have the what's it called? Hold on. I don't have the explosion is not the thing that does damage, and magic missile is the same way. Right now, it's still using the same sound as fireball, but I'll fix that in a second. Freeze already turned out pretty well, I think, and magic missile uses the same particle system I have as fireball. Just change the color and some of the other little parameters, how fast the particles spread out and whatnot, so it looks a bit different. Nothing is in a final state at all. Nothing's even near. If this is a version, it would be 0.02 compared to 1 being a full release, so we're nowhere near. What else? I didn't test out this. Shield. Magic missile. Cool. I didn't fuck around with this thing's collision settings. I changed a lot of things about collision settings, so now all my spells that are physical that do damage are of type world dynamic, and they overlap with other world dynamic things so that they can collide with each other. They already did that, but the problem was magic missile, fireball. Right there, the fireball passed through, I'm going to say the MM, passed through, I'm going to say F and MM. The F passed through the MM's big tracking area, and that's a problem because it didn't collide with it. It only got within the area that it tracks players. And by area it tracks players, I mean if it passes by a player, the player is in that volume, it will add that, it will set that player to be the target it gets attracted to. So let this guy look up because everybody casts the same spell when I talk because I have 2 clients on this one mic. If I do magic missile, actually I want to do it behind him just in case it hits those. Magic missile. The acceleration isn't super high right now, so it doesn't immediately go to the guy. The acceleration is at a point where sometimes they get pulled around and they orbit for a while. If I had it on like 10,000, right now I think the acceleration's on 5,000. If I had it on 10,000, it would go and it would just go straight into. So there's a balance where I want you to be able to kind of outrun them or move around them, something-ish. I'm not super sure. I don't want it to be some busted ass ability. But I don't know. This is all the early stage. I just wanted to make it happen. So now it does happen. And you can see that it damaged the player. So recover. So he's full. Recover. He's full health now. Sometimes when I talk, one client hears and one client doesn't. Not sure when or why that is. But what else? We'll do it the other way. Now the server will attack the client. Magic missile. See? They went, and in this case, just where they were, how far away they were from him. The acceleration is high enough, but they were far enough away. They were at the very edge of their radius. Just like if a planet was passing by another body or some celestial body passed by another in space, and it was just on the outside, you get that slingshot effect. Just like when people talk about potential for humans to shoot ourselves into space, one way of getting as fast as possible might be some crazy path that we chart, by which, I don't know how that happened, but both thought I said freeze. or you pass by one body just on the edge of orbit and you let that slingshot you, you're not close enough to where it's going to pull you in forever, like an event horizon, but it slingshots you past, and then go near another, and it slingshots you just like that. So that's why that happened. So I'm going to do it a little closer. Magic missile. Now it's closer, and it's close enough to keep doing the orbiting, and eventually it will hit. And we can see that he got hit by all three. So cover. 3? 3. Oh, just depends on how you say it. Sometimes Freeze thinks you're saying it. And it just went because I said it, and then I kept talking. And when I finished talking, then it went. So I don't know if I'll be able to add a thing to check when the keyword ends. I want to play Mage Arena and see if the same thing happens. If you say a keyword and keep talking, does the spell activate after or immediately after the keyword? So it's looking and it sees a keyword and stops immediately. I'm not sure. Because I don't know exactly how this plugin works for storing speech. I know how it's implemented in Unreal, but in its own Unreal, Shield, something like that. Eel. Yeah, see, it was enough for this one, but not enough for the other client. Interesting. Recover. Oh, I fixed invisibility. For a second, nobody was going invis, and it was because I added a row on the data table for invis, and I forgot to give it a duration. And when you have a timer, or a timer that's bound to an event, and you make the timer of duration 0, because default value in the table was 0, because I didn't set it, I just added it, so everything is zeroed out. When the timer is 0, it won't actually execute the event. I thought that it would instantly start and end, but because it has no time, it doesn't even start. So it doesn't trigger the event. Excuse me. So that's that. I might update the magnetism to be, or the acceleration to be 6K, but I'm not sure. So that's that. Oh, we can hit him too. So magic missile, freeze. We can see that freeze hit him. Freeze, 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 freeze. Fuck, I did it too late. It's too hard to aim it here. Magic missile, freeze, freeze, freeze. You can shoot them all down, which is sick. See if I can shoot a fireball. Freeze, freeze, fireball, freeze, freeze. Ah. Fireball, freeze. Again, fireball, freeze. Fireball, freeze. Fireball, freeze. Man, okay, it's tougher now. I fucked with the speed. I was doing it yesterday a little just to make sure it works. I need to do it just to make sure it actually works. I haven't tested this since I messed with settings. You can still see them out there too. I need to have like a culling distance, so if they get too far away, they just disappear. I like being able to cross map people, but I also don't want to have all these assets that are just out there forever, taking up processing power. Forever? Recover? Oh, forever. Forever? It was doing it. Fireball. Freeze. There we go. Magic missile. Freeze. Neither of those have gravity, so of course the faster thing's going to catch up with the slower thing. Anything else? Shield. Freeze. Fireball. Magic missile. So all of those collide with that. Nice. What is shield? Question. Because it is its own object. It's static mesh. It is of type. I don't know what the collision is. I'm a lot more versed in collisions now. Oh, it's of type world dynamic. Oh, that makes sense. So it is the same as those others. So the static mesh is the same type as what? These guys probably? I don't know. Oh no, duh, of course it's pawn. It's a character. Hello? Excuse me. So shield is of type world dynamic. As is we'll do magic missile. Magic missile has a collision volume, but it also has this tracking area. The tracking area is different. Tracking area's collision is projectile. And that is because Fireball was passing through this area, but not actually hitting it, and it was exploding it. Why? Because Fireball was reading, oh, I have overlapped with a world dynamic thing, and it would hit, and the Fireball would explode itself. the magic missile wouldn't explode itself. The fireball would. The fireball would hit it. And actually, I think the magic missile was getting exploded too. No, it was because the fireball would hit it. I think it was just the fireball, because that makes sense. Oh no, I think it's because the tracking volume was also overlapping with world dynamics, so they actually were overlapping with each other. But now the tracking volume can only detect pawns. It cannot detect anything else, only pawns. So it can't track on other spells, which is good. And it's also of type projectile. You can just set this to be whatever. They don't really matter. They're basically just enum values. So true is not compatible with false, these kind of things. They're different classes. This type of object, this type, that's how we can set it. And this is of type world dynamic because I want the fireball to collide with this. Hits it. So that is what magic missile looks like for now. And maybe I should probably update this particle effect because it doesn't make sense for smoke going vertically. So maybe I'll mess around with that. But that's it. So magic missile works, invisibility works. What else do I have? Magic missile is pretty simple. It's the same logic as I did before. I just created my own asset for it now. So it's no longer shooting 5 or whatever 3 fireballs. Instead it's doing magic missiles, right? It's a separate thing. Oh, there was a little bit of a doozy I had to go through. So one, there's a timer. It says over 0.3 seconds, we need to do something, okay? And it's not going to loop. So it's going to start and wait 0.3 seconds. Well, in this 0.3 seconds time, I could set this. I'm probably going to add a thing to magic missile and it'll be like duration or something like that. Do I do it for all these too? Yeah, I probably should, which means I will. I'm no bitch. So this will get data table row. And what row? We're going to do magic missile. And we'll do duration. Duration is fine, actually. Duration makes sense. So I may as well just connect it now. Do not debuff duration, but is it? Let's see. Maybe I just changed the name to instead of effect, I just changed it to duration. Let's see. Oh, wait, it does have one. It's totally called duration seconds. Am I fucking blind? Hello? Oh, I am. Yes, duration seconds. Cool. And then I'm going to go back to this data table and update. I shouldn't have closed it. Go back to magic missile and update duration seconds to be 0.3. That's how long it takes to shoot all the missiles. And in the character, have it connected. I wish I could collapse the rest of these. That would be nice. So I can only pull out the one I need. But do need to make this different. I'm going to these put them underneath each other kind of. So I don't have to so damn long. All these guys over. This has exact pin, executable pin. Bop. Bop. Cool. So you cast magic missile. Let's make sure it still works. Magic missile. Cool. So I had another issue earlier, but that's the doozy I'll talk about in a sec. Gravity's already set in there, but we need the duration in the character because that's where it's set. Once the magic missile spawned, it's too late. So we have to put the duration here. The character is what's doing the spawning. So do that. And then we have another timer that I just said, okay, well, what is a time that I can do that is, oh, actually, I could do this time divide by 3 and then minus 0.1. Or so to get 0.9, I divided that by 3. Yeah, I guess I can do that. All right, so I could just do this. I'll take the time. We want to fire. Oops, please. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Whatever. Do fire 3 missiles. Or please. Oh, why is it selecting everything? What is happening here? Yeah, see, sometimes the comments bug out. It's annoying. I don't know if this will fix it. If I can just close the BP and reopen it. Before I used to just close Unreal. Nice, it works now. Double clicking gets me in the comment. So do timer to fire 3 missiles. Cool. And we'll say We're going to divide the duration by 3 because we want the missiles. Oh, we could do missile count. So I could, unless there's already a spell value that would make sense. Spell effect value, duration. I mean, we could do quantity. Spell damage. I'll do spell effect value because the effect of casting magic missile is that you cast multiple magic missiles. So I will use spell effect value. So calculate time for each missile. Or we could say duration divided by missile count equals time per missile. And then I'm going to subtract 0.01. Subtract extra time to guarantee missile. But actually, this might not be needed. I'm going to see. Let's see if 3 missiles works here. Magic missile. Magic missile. Magic missile? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened? Did I not? I selected that. Duration seconds divided by that. Oh, why not? So what if I just put this back at 0.09 for a sec? Oh, because it's duration seconds. Hold on. This is duration seconds. That's 3 divided by 3 missiles. Hello? What the fuck is this math? What am I doing, dude? Oh, wait, hold on. Duration seconds. Did I not even put duration seconds as a value? I bet you I didn't. I bet you I talked about it and I didn't. All right, hold on. 0.3. Oh, I didn't give it a value yet. I just talked about it and didn't put that in there. Okay, that makes total sense. As I said, the time was 0 because it was something, well, it was undefined. It was 0.3 divided by 0, so it just didn't do it. It just treated it as 0. Now, what happens? Let's see how many. I think it's 2, but maybe it works. Magic missile. Oh, magic missile. There are 3. Okay, cool. That works. Never mind. Don't need that. Perfect. So we have the duration. Total missile shooting duration divided by. Oh. Well, I'm not even going to say this. It's already there, obviously. So we're going to say. I don't want to get the table again. Say duration divided by missiles equals time per missile. Cool. Just gonna put this under. No, I'll do it here. It's fine. Okay. Okay. All right, we'll say shoot each missile. This is the shooting of missiles. This is shoot 1 missile. Shoot each missile. Fire missiles for duration. Sure, it's fine. So there was an issue before, and I'll show you the issue. Go on Magic Missile, and I take this owning player, and I stop replicating it. Great, love that. Left click it again, and we do none. And the issue only happens on the client in a multiplayer game, so it will not happen. Magic Missile. Magic Missile. You'll see. So right there, the missiles were technically being spawned close enough to the player to where the outside of their collision was overlapping my character's collision too. And I don't want to change how big the character is, but I also don't want to change how small the missiles collision is. Basically, for missiles, I don't want them to interact with your own player, for now at least. Maybe I want that to be changed. Or maybe I want to have them ignore it in the beginning and then not later. So if you shoot them and you catch up with them or something, you blink over there, maybe they can then track you. I don't know. Not sure. So, not sure. So now if I do magic missile, see that they hit yourself. I don't think they damaged me. Magic missile. So they weren't. They didn't apply damage. And why is that? Let me see real quick. Hold on. Hit. Active on the explosion. And then overlapping actors with this is fine. Collision volume. But actually, I'm kind of surprised. I'm not sure why it's not damaging the player. Let's find out. So we're hitting. Then I'll put a couple breakpoint. I'll just do this and see if it happens. Okay, let's find out real fast. Oops, I started too fast to start this one, and then this one pops up. Okay. The issue is basically this. The magic missile is spawned by the server. Great. It's going to be this forever, isn't it, huh? Wait, no, okay, we're cool. Alright, so just gotta look up, and then on the client, hit myself with it, magic missile. Alright, so what happens? It said that we've hit. Why did it say we've hit? Because the owning player is not known. What is all this? What does this mean? Here's the path. When the missile overlaps with something, we want to see if we're going to apply damage. Do we need to actually hit the thing? Well, one type of thing, what do we not want to hit? The missiles spawn really close to each other, and I don't want to spawn them out like some fucking armada of missiles that are all mega spread out. I want them to be pretty close to each other. Maybe they actually end up touching each other. Well, that means I need to make sure that missiles don't hit each other. But what if two people put missiles? What if this guy spawns them, this guy spawns them, this guy casts? I want them to hit each other still. So we need to make sure that only this player's missiles don't fuck with each other. Another thing is, I don't want the missiles to hit this player. And actually, that's where this is happening. So in this case, this is returning false. Because this is returning, this isn't even, this is also returning. Okay, cool. So technically this is being triggered because of this, not this part. So, I also don't want the missiles to hit the player. Why? Why do I even care about that? If I spawn the missiles out far from the player, they will never hit the player. But if I spawn them really close, the player's here, and I spawn the missiles really close, I want to do that. Problem is they end up overlapping each other, and I don't want to fuck with either of their collision volumes. That's just how it is. The player, I don't want to make the player's mesh so big, scale it down, because I want, like right now with just how this mesh is made, the player's collision box capsule is this big, but the player is only like this big. So there's this excess area here between the character and the collision, but his height is even. So if I shrink the collision down, the capsule will get smaller than the player. And if I shrink the player down, we get that same distance between them. So we don't want that. So I said, fuck it. Leave the height as is. Leave the excess as is. Don't touch the collisions. Okay. That means we have to make the missiles ignore this player, the one who casted the missiles. Well, when we go and actually cast the missiles, it's called on the server. So the client tells the other server, another client, but the server player on his computer to do the missiles, spawn the missiles, and calculate where they are and send that information to everybody, which happens automatically because the actors that are spawned, the missiles are replicated, so they get sent to everybody. But there's one source of truth for how many missiles there are and where they are, and it's all in the server. The problem is here. I've never had to use owning player really, or I haven't had to compare the owning player. If I just get the owning player, hold on. I'll have to think more. Basically, in this case, if we set the owning player, which is this extra thing that I added, this parameter, or rather, well, it's almost a parameter, not really, but this variable in the missile called owning player, we need it because I don't want the missiles to hit each other if they're owned by the same player. So what do? I check. Is the thing that the missile is overlapping with a missile? If it is owner of the missile this missile's owner? If not, then blow that missile up. But if it is, ignore it. Do nothing. Don't fuck with that missile. So we have, when this missile is created, it gets an owning player, which is the character sending itself to the missile. And the other missile that it's overlapping with, the other missile, also has an owning player. So we're comparing them to see who are the owners. Jim sends one, Jeff sends one. Oh, they should interact because they're not the same person. But if Jim has two missiles, they shouldn't interact. Similarly, if Jim sends a missile, so it overlaps with something that's not a missile, and in fact, it is the player who sent the missile, it should ignore him. So when the player gets hit by his own missiles, don't do anything either, because it's true. Overlapped thing is the player, do nothing. If it is not the player, and it's another player, then hit him. The problem here is this. Hold. Okay, it actually is, it is this part. This is the part that's fucking us up. Right now, the owning player is unknown. It's unknown because the server, which calls all of this, so everything here is executed on the server because it's not outside of this event. The server is saying, update the server. Or actually, it's saying, basically it's saying that we have this actor that's replicated everywhere, but there's a variable inside it that is not replicated separately everywhere. So there's this one object that everybody sees, but not everybody sees this little piece of information. And if the missiles don't, if my game has a bunch of missiles in it because other people are shooting missiles and I'm shooting missiles and shit, right? If my game doesn't see the owning player for each of the other missiles, my game is unable to tell whose missiles are hitting whose missiles are whose being hit by the missiles. Can't tell because the owning player is not known. I have to explicitly replicate this variable in order to get that information to everybody. So if I go into the missile and I replicate it, then we can create the game. Did it too fast. The other client was not ready. I can create the game. It's because they're both on my same thing, both on my same client, computer, network. This guy's fine. Magic missile. And he was fine anyway because he is the server. So there was never any issue. It didn't need to be replicated because there's only one guy on there. There's nobody else to send the info to. It's just the server. But when the client joins, this is where it was wonky, but now it'll work. Magic missile. It no longer hits himself. It can hit others. Magic missile. See, too far. Magic missile. There it is. We can go and look. Let me see. Oh, yeah, he got hit by 3 missiles, so he's on 40 health. Recover. Recover. Boom. Freeze. 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 Oh, the centering is really off right now just because of the, this. Freeze. Now it's perfect. Freeze. 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 Now we can see that he's frozen, he's slowed, moving real slow. Now he's fast. There it is. Cool. That's it. That's the strat. So I had to replicate that. I had to fuck around and figure out why is it that the player's unknown? I can't replicate it from here. I mean, I could. Let's see. The point is that the owning player needs to be known in the magic missile so that I can go to another magic missile and get the owning player from it. And I made a little interface that just is implemented here that simply returns the owning player from that missile. Instead of having to, yeah, because that's the only way I could get it. I don't want to cast to it. Apparently interfaces are more efficient than having to cast. So I use the interface to get the owning player from the missile. But now, replicating, actually, and I'll show you that final thing as proof that what I did was the solution, we will then see that we're no longer getting an unknown error, doesn't see the owning player, because that value was never replicated to anybody else, so it was left default, nothing, blank, empty. If I tried to print it, it wouldn't do anything. I accidentally clicked twice, so it showed up twice. It's a bug I'll have to fix later when I'm on the networking stuff. Okay, now, magic missile. And actually what I need to do is add a breakpoint so that we can see where that happens. And then we'll go and check. Magic missile. See? So, boom. It sees the player, it sees the player. Specifically, the player is C1, so it's the second player. 0 is the first. And cool. And it sees, hey, we have overlapped with a player. Oh, wait, hold. What's happening with this one? Player. Class unknown. Actually, it's working now, but let me make sure. Because, oh, this is because it's not overlapping with another missile. So this returned false. So this isn't executing, and because this isn't executing, none of this shit is... This shouldn't even say false, because the path wasn't even called. So, actually, it was another missile. Hold. They were technically probably... Well, actually, no, because this one hit event was triggered in one way. What was it triggered by? It was triggered by... Hold. This. This went false, so this shit, we can ignore the values. It went false, and it said, okay, we have not overlapped with a missile, we overlapped with something else. Well, what is that something else? Oh, it's a static... Oh, here we go. Haven't seen this yet. It's a static mesh actor. And is that actor this player? If it is not, let me do it. But because... Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. False? False. Oh, wait. Oh. Wait. Hold on. This is false. Wait. Oh, never mind. It's actually going to go and set hit. Wait a second here. This is different. This is not what I expected. It is going to hit, actually. Whoa, maybe this fucks things up. Hold on. This is good. Figuring out a bug. So, yeah, it said false. It was not a missile. It was a static mesh actor. So I guess that's what it would be overlapping. I could get the owner of that other actor and then see if the owner of it... I could see if it... I need to make sure that it... So if it's this player... Hold on. Oh, wait. Wait, this is actually fine. Wait, no, hold on. It's applying damage to who, though? Why? Never mind, this isn't good. So it's overlapping the static mesh actor 59. Static mesh actor 59? Is that in here? Who is it? I don't know who it's going to apply damage to. Actually, it's probably not, because it's probably not going to implement the interface to do damage later on. Okay, let's do this. I think it's going to stop short, though, because it's not making sound effects. Hold. Oh, here we go. Oh, wait, no. False, because it continues. Because it's not a shield. Continue. Set active. Oh, wait, it's about to hit something. Wait, what was it? Hold on. What hit? Where are we at in the games right now? Oh, fuck. God damn it, I didn't make the fucking first character look down. Oh my god, I've been following a fucking trail. It's not even the right character. Can I just breakpoint them all and then unbreakpoint? No, I can't. That flips them. Oh my. Oh wait, I can select them all though separately. Unbreakpoint them. God damn it. I watched. Oh, I'm not gonna look it up. It's fine. Okay. Just gonna look up that video about. God damn it, chug. It's a cow that chugs milk. Okay. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it again, and I'm gonna fucking remember to test it properly by having the server look up. The server was looking down. That's why it hit static mesh actor. That's this. That's the floor. Here it is. Static mesh actor. Wait, hold on. That's one of them. Wait, here it is. All these cubes, static mesh actor. It's not. The player. Or actually, is the player even in here? I mean, it should be, right? Is it in the level? I guess it's not until the player's, let's see, player state. Camera manager. Oh, controller and shit. Hold on, here we go. Game modes. Yeah, I mean, the static mesh actor, that's not in the player, so it is not hitting the player, it's actually hitting the world. It's just stupid. Okay, this guy needs to look up. Now, I was wondering, I was gonna see, oh, it's overlapping with my own static mesh, and it's gonna actually apply damage to it, but then the second I saw that it was going to do the particle effects, even though it wasn't actually triggering them, I knew something was wrong, because it was saying it's gonna trigger them. Whose missiles are getting triggered? Oh, his are, because when I looked, his were getting triggered on the floor. Magic missile. Magic missile. Oh, there it is. See, they hit. Actually, this might even be hitting the wall. Oh, wait, I think it is. Yeah, it probably is. Might need to back this breakpoint up. I think I do. There we go. Wait, no. Hold on. Let's finish this up. Jesus Christ, they were ignoring each other a lot. Okay, here we go. Magic missile. There it is. This is the one we wanted. Perfect. Finally. When you walk on the client and you shoot the missiles straight forward, the missiles would hit yourself. They would overlap with the character, and they wouldn't be able to tell that the character was the same character, because when it tried to evaluate... Hold. Because owning player in this missile itself, when it was set from the character, or from the server, it wasn't replicated. So it wasn't replicated to the client to see it. If it was the server's missile hitting himself, he would see it because the server set it. The server is its own client. The server can see the value that it set. But the client, because owning player was not replicated, would not see it. And so owning player, it's not this that we were looking for, but we can confirm now that they're... Who did we overlap with? We overlapped a character. Who is this character? The same character. Because it overlapped the same character, this returns true. Because this returns true and it hit the same character, ignore it. Boom. And now it won't go any further. Cool. And now I can breakpoint it because it's just going to show more shit for the other missiles. Magic missile. That hits him. He took damage. We can see it. Make him look up. Magic missile. See, it was too far. Magic missile. Magic missile. Oh, see? The magnetism might not be high enough. Magic missile. I had another faulty assumption earlier where I would shoot the missiles and it looked like they would be going around forever, and every time I would click in, he would take damage. It just so happens that's how much time it takes for them to hit. I should have just literally waited like a minute to see if it never would hit. And then if I click in, okay, it's probably the case that it's my clicking and going into them. But no, it's just how long it takes. Magic missile. Now it's high, it's never going to go out, so eventually it'll hit. Let me wait. He's dead. Now we can see he can't heal, he can't do shit. Oh, I also made it so you can't do spells anymore when you're dead. Recover. Heal, I was worried for a sec, but it's not. Wrong. Different. Right, the right guy's healing. Invisibility. Invisibility. Fireball. Magic missile. Shield. So it'll say what you're trying to do and that you can't because you're dead. And then whatever, that's it. So cool. Magic missile. Magic missile. Oh, it's actually, it looks so far when you're shooting the missiles, but the missiles landed here and those were actually too far from me. That's surprising, but okay. Nice. I mean, it seems like everything works. Seems pretty damn good. Did I change anything? What did I change? I fucked with the replication. Fuck. What else did I do? Oh, magic missile spawns using data table values. Spawns 3 missiles because effect value is 3. Effect of magic missile is summon missile. How many? 3. Cool. And duration as 0.3. Cool. Works for me. I have a fireball, a magic missile, a fire blast, a freeze, a shield, invisibility, now and recover. And now magic missile that tracks players. Cool, it's 3. I need to keep working. Next up is a light spell. Because my maps I want to be dark. Almost always. Like I want a dungeon map and I want a forest map, a dark forest. And I want light to light things up. Not only because I want spells to be lighting areas up, but it would be cool to have a light lighting the dungeon. I want a fucking dark dungeon. I don't know how I want light to be though. I don't know if I want to spawn it above you. It just kind of follows you around and moves around idly. Or if you can control it, maybe. So you could have light and then maybe I experiment with a phrase and you can control it. You can say like light go and it will send the light from wherever it is into your control rotation's direction. So it'll go where you're looking. Actually, maybe that's not exactly correct because if I'm looking up and it's above me, then it'll go this way. It's not going to go where I'm looking. So actually, this is a case where I should probably do a line trace and I say, go to where I'm looking. And then it goes there and sits once it overlaps. And it has a big overlap area. So it overlaps and sits wherever it lands. And then we could say light return. And then it would come back to wherever its idle position is. And maybe I set that as like a socket on the character or another little component. And that's where it moves to. I think that makes more sense instead of socketing and unsocketing it. But maybe that, I think it could go either way. Sounds kind of cool. Then you could send lights around. Maybe it's shit, but I'm going to do it. That's next. Yes. Now I have to figure out how to make them glow and how to make them exhibit light in areas. I think I'll just do the same particle effect. And then I think there's literally a glow thing. It's nice. All these tools that are built for me. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Unreal. Okay, bye.